The crowd really giving Peter Brock a send-off. The last trip of the V8 Big Bangers, as they're called, the Group C touring cars, and Brock has done it again.
In 1984, the Holden dealer team was still winning. It was the final year of the Group C regulations, unique to Australian tin tops. And although the team didn't win the championship because Brock had spent some time campaigning in Europe, he did achieve a memorable 1-2 with John Harvey on the mountain.
Peter Brock in 05 comes across the line to win the 1984 James Hardy 1000.
Holden dealer team had decided we were going to go and have a go at Le Mans. So we took the whole crew over and we rented a Porsche, Le Mans car. And we didn't win Le Mans, but we gave it a fair shake. But while we're over there, the guys were all sitting back there talking about how we're going to win Bathurst again. And we said, okay, let's build some new cars. So by remote control, we started getting some body shells and getting them prepped and stuff like that. So when we came back, around about July, we started, getting these cars together. They didn't cost a great deal of money in those days because they were a very simple sort of formula, Group C. I love Group C. It made a lot of sense. And we debuted those cars with a brand new colour scheme, which has become quite legendary, actually. This clean, simple, day-glow sort of colour that the cars have. And everyone stood back, I guess, when we unveiled them and said, wow, they look good. And it has been, even in this day and age, voted as being one of the best-looking Holdens around, or in fact some magazines said best looking Holden racing car ever, best looking Holden ever. I thought, fairly big statement, but the cars weren't as good as they looked. And we won Sandown. Bit of a struggle at Sandown. We used different tyres there, but we learned a bit from that, and we went to Bathurst and we had all guns blazing up there, I can tell you, and we cleared out. And it took a while to establish the supremacy, but we got there, and we had a 1-2, a very memorable 1-2 with John Harvey and Skippy Parsons behind Larry and I. So it was just a wonderful finale to what I think was a great era in sport, and that was the Group C regulations. I think they gave some great racing.
The amount of recall the fans have for those day-glow orange and white cars is extraordinary. Even today, people will talk about things like Alan Moffat's Mustang or whatever, but the VK day-glow Commodores are right up there in people's memory, which is quite extraordinary considering they only competed at one Bathurst 1000. I think the reason why people love those cars is there's a number of factors involved in that. One, it was the last year of Group C racing in Australia, which was the Australian domestic formula. It had been through its ups and downs for sure, but I think it was a fairly emotional time to see the last of the big bangers, as they called them, the big Aussie V8 Falcons and V8 Commodores going out. And the way those cars were presented, it was very clear that it was like, we're going to go out with a bang, and that's the wording Brock has used before. The cars were beautifully prepared, they were lovely and simple, they were the lightest, simplest, fastest Commodores they'd ever built, and that day-glow orange paint job, like no one had seen anything like that in Australian motorsport. I think, if you think of 1984 and the way those cars were presented and the way the team were presented, they were the equal of anything in the world. Formula One, Champ Car racing, what you like, they were right at the top of the tree.
The 84 car was sensational, the day-glow cars, fantastic cars to drive. And then after that, we basically went to the Group A formula. And it might seem funny, but in 85, whilst the Holden had been homologated to run in the Group A formula, no one at that point had built an Evolution car, which was allowable under the rules. There just hadn't been time. So in 85 we went to Bathurst, Peter and I made the comment after the race that I said, Peter, the two HDT road cars that we drove to Bathurst this year were faster than the race cars. I mean, the race cars in terms of lap time are a little bit quicker because of slick tyres and so on, but basically the engines in 85 were stock standard, and the Achilles heel there was the stock standard timing chain was a weak point, and in the race condition, and broke on both cars.
And I think I heard someone shout, forget it.